You see her. Across the room, there's a spark of life, a presence that pulls your attention, and a simple human impulse arises to connect, to walk over, say hello, and see what happens. But you don't. Your legs feel like they're cast in lead. An invisible wall slams down between your intention and your action. Your mind, a masterful defense attorney, floods with a dozen perfect excuses. She's with her friends. She looks busy. I'll just bother her. What would I even say? Each one sounds perfectly logical, and each one is a lie. The moment passes, she leaves, and all that's left is that familiar, hollow ache, the quiet self-betrayal that whispers, "Why didn't you just do it?" This state of paralysis is one of the most painful things a man can experience. And the conventional advice, "Be more confident, just do it," is useless. It's like telling a man in a straitjacket to just reach out. The reason that advice fails is that it misdiagnoses the problem entirely. Your fear has almost nothing to do with her. It is not her rejection you're afraid of. It is the terror of having your own self-contempt confirmed right before your eyes. You have turned a stranger into the judge, jury, and executioner for a verdict you passed on yourself long ago. And today, we are going to dismantle that courtroom. The first error in thinking that leads to paralysis is mistaking the explanation for the cause. Let's break this down logically. The sequence of events feels like this. 1. You see a woman. 2. Your mind calculates the risk of her rejecting you. 3. As a result, you feel fear. This seems rational, but it's backward. The reality is that the fear was already there, dormant. The woman is simply the catalyst that awakens it. The anxiety you feel is an old, pre-existing condition. Your rational mind, which hates unexplained feelings, then scrambles to find a reason. It looks at the situation and concludes, "I feel this way because that person over there might reject me." This is a critical error. It frames the problem as external, something you must solve out there. The truth is that the trial has already happened, and the verdict has been delivered. Inside your own psyche, you have judged certain parts of yourself as unworthy, pathetic, awkward, or creepy. You have sentenced these parts to exile. This is your shadow. So when you see an opportunity for connection, you are not afraid of a new trial. You are terrified that her reaction will validate the verdict you have already passed on yourself. Her disinterest won't create the feeling of being the creepy guy. It will simply feel like proof that you were right about it all along. The paralysis is your system's desperate attempt to avoid seeing that internal verdict reflected in the eyes of another person. To understand the mechanism behind this, we need a new metaphor. Think of your shadow, all those disowned, rejected parts of yourself, as a piece of unclaimed luggage. Imagine it at the baggage claim of your life. It's your bag. You know what's inside: the needy child, the awkward teenager, the failed romantic. Every insecurity and self-judgment you've ever had is packed in there, but you refuse to claim it. You walk away, pretending it isn't yours, but it has your name on it, and it follows you. Everywhere you go, you can hear the quiet rumbling of its wheels on the pavement just behind you. You spend a tremendous amount of energy ignoring it, hoping no one else will notice. I know the sound of those wheels not as an idea, but as a place I once lived. The act of approaching a woman feels so terrifying because it is a moment of profound vulnerability. It's a moment where you step into the light, and your deepest fear is that she will stop, point to the bag you've been dragging, and ask, "Is this yours?" The anxiety is the desperate, frantic energy of trying to hide this luggage you believe makes you fundamentally unworthy of connection. Now, let's look at this from a practical standpoint. Your emotional response system is like a highly sensitive scientific instrument, a seismograph designed to detect threats. The problem is that your instrument is poorly calibrated. It has been trained by past experiences to mistake the minor tremor of potential social awkwardness for a magnitude 9 earthquake that will shatter your entire identity. When the needle jumps into the red, your psyche's emergency protocol kicks in, the circuit breaker trips, the system shuts down to prevent what it perceives as a catastrophic failure. That is the paralysis. That is the freeze. The work, therefore, is not to smash the instrument. It is to methodically recalibrate it. This is not about psychobabble. This is a practical, 3-step process to recalibrate your internal seismograph. It is simple, but it is not easy. Step 1. The inventory. Label the luggage. You cannot claim the bag until you know exactly what is inside. You must name the ghosts you're running from. The action. Take out a journal. Write this sentence at the top of the page. "The part of me I am most afraid of her seeing is..." Now write whatever comes next. Don't judge it. The creepy part, the boring part, the stupid part, the weak part. Fill the page. The rationale. Fear thrives in abstraction. When a fear is unnamed, it is limitless. By writing it down, you drag it from the boundless realm of emotional terror into the finite world of language. You define it. And anything that can be defined can be confronted. Step 2. The controlled exposure. Carry the luggage intentionally. Now, you will run a series of small controlled experiments to gather new data. The goal is not to get a phone number. The goal is to prove to your nervous system that the tremor is not an earthquake. The action. I call this the 5-second inquiry. Your task is to approach someone, anyone, and ask a simple, logistical, non-romantic question. That's it. Examples. "Excuse me, do you know what time it is?" Or, "Sorry to bother you, is this the end of the line?" The interaction should last 5 to 10 seconds. Do this 3 times in 1 week. The rationale. This is a recalibration exercise. Each interaction is a small, controlled tremor. Your seismograph will spike, but there will be no earthquake. Your identity will not shatter. By surviving these minor exposures, you are providing your nervous system with undeniable proof that its current calibration is wrong. You are overwriting the old, faulty data with new, accurate data. Step 3. The integration. Unpack the luggage. Data is useless without analysis. This final step is what makes the recalibration permanent. The action. Immediately after each 5-second inquiry, take 60 seconds to reflect. Ask yourself one question. What was the catastrophic expectation? And what was the actual result? Notice the massive gap between the story your fear told you and what actually occurred. The rationale. This step forces your conscious mind to acknowledge the new evidence. It closes the loop between action and understanding. You are actively participating in rewriting your own internal code, proving to yourself that the ghost in the machine is in fact just a shadow. You are not just carrying the luggage. You are finally looking inside and realizing it's much lighter than you imagined. What happens when you do this work? It is not that you become a man without fear. Fear is part of life. The transformation is that the fear no longer owns you. The seismograph is recalibrated. A potential conversation registers as a minor tremor, not a cataclysm. The tangible, felt sense of this is lightness. It is the absence of the rumbling luggage behind you. It is the quieting of the frantic defense attorney in your mind. You begin to walk through the world, not as a defendant in a constant trial, but as a man who is simply present. You will see a woman, and you will see her, a person, not a projection of your own inner judge. The question will shift from, what if she rejects me, to a simple, quiet, I wonder what she's like. You may still feel a spark of nervousness, but it will feel like excitement, like the energy of potential, not the dread of a coming verdict. The paralysis is gone, replaced by a simple freedom to choose, to act or not to act. But the choice, finally, will be yours.